It's a lifelong condition. Crazy.
You
Crazy.
are crazy.
You are not making
You are
sense.
not making sense. You have to accept you are insane.
Medicines are. It's a chemical imbalance. It's a lifelong secret. Never be sorry again. It doesn't matter what the side effects are. That you are insane. It's not true.
We know what's
Except you are insane. You are insane. Insane.
Do I look like the tropical fruit from the country I come from? Is it now? People on the other side of the camera, if you exist? Does it look like that? You can speak so that I don't look like I'm talking to myself.
I thought you want to talk to yourself.
One day she was going, she just sat in the bedroom. She closed her ears and she said, "Mummy, please tell them to go away. I cannot stand." And I never seen her like that.
Well, I remember she started screaming and she said someone's outside the house. And I thought there were thieves or some, gangsters or something out of the house. And I was like, what is she saying? And then she's like, close the windows. And I closed all the windows.
Then I said, who are they? Because nobody was in the house. Nobody was outside the house. She said, no, Mummy, they are just making so much of noise. Tell them to go away, tell them to go away.
Her symptoms were fairly severe, or I would say very severe, because she had all the hallmarks of schizophrenia. She had delusions, she had hallucinations, she had suspiciousness. She was acting out on it.
We felt very weak. We felt very weak and we didn't know what to do.
I remember deep in my heart, I said, no. There will be a way that she will come out.
All of us got involved. My youngest girl, who was, I think, about 12 years old that time, my wife and I.
It was very difficult for me to accept what she was going through. And, I remember, I always had to follow her to the shops later because, my dad would always be like, follow her.
It's difficult. It's difficult to constantly have to deal with shuffling between mixing realities. I think, my friends who probably are on drugs or do a bit of dope would understand that. Over here, I just don't need any one of them. Hallucinations fukar mein milta hai. That's what I say. So it's about learning to, just live with them. So it's about learning to.
I think she was holding a knife, right? Were you? I don't remember. She was holding something in her hand.
And she wanted to, I think, either poke me or the father. I don't know what.
And then I was wondering, what's going on. And my dad held her and she started crying. And I just didn't know what was going on and I was like totally lost.
And then her father also kept on, trying to grab the knife from her, and she was poking the hall divan mattress. So my husband just pulled me and he said, let her do. At least she will come out from that. And then when she calmed down slowly, my husband went to her and took the knife away.
It screwed me up big time. It really screwed me up. The brain was not functioning at the level I knew before. It was just yes, no, yes, no, kind of a thing.
She was a person you could talk to, but she would answer, but there was no response. She would just say it because, okay, yes, this is the right thing to say. So she was saying it. But to actually voice her opinion, that was not there.
From being this completely hyperactive individual who would swim and get involved in martial arts and dance constantly, and all of that being just taken away from you. It was literally just, and you just feel like a goddamn vegetable.
I mean, when she's on med, she's someone can't put the name and the face and the person together at all.
And just giving her medications was not enough. It was just like giving medications and waiting for a miracle. We'll get our child back. 2 doses, my headache will go away. That was not the answer. We were waiting and waiting and nothing was happening. So finally we decided that we will look at other options. All right, and these are all the other options. Counseling helped, and all our activities in art therapy.
if someone believes that the illness they have has been caused by some external powers, even if we don't always agree with them, if we write that idea off, it's highly unlikely that they would continue a therapeutic relationship with us. So my personal thing is that even if patients tell me something that I don't necessarily agree, I ask them to go ahead with what they think would help them, as long as they do advise, as long as they do take sort of, sounds big, my advice as well, because both of it working together helps sort of get them better, quicker and faster. Well in advance of last month. Yeah, just came back last Sunday. We were all in Malaysia for really a month.
Dr. Arvind treated me as an individual, not just a schizophrenic. He could treat me as a person.
That is why we value and love our psychiatrist so much. He's been a godsend for us. And I wish all psychiatrists do this. In his case, he spends a good 1 hour with us and we see him. I hear that other psychiatrists spend just 5 minutes and they say, what was your earlier dosage? Now increase the dosage, decrease the dosage, bye-bye.
When you are crazy in the head, you have no one to talk to. The only person you confide in happens to be the doctor, and he gives you just 5 minutes of goddamn time. How is that going to make you feel? I mean, trust me, just having someone listen to you is the very first step. She said that, why don't you just talk to them and see what they want? You know, because if they're going to follow you around, then just ask them, what is it? You know, and just talk to them, make them your friends. And that was probably what got me ticking. I started befriending these voices.
Rather than calling that voice coming out from there, if she gives it a name and says, Stephen is talking to me, so it becomes very personal and it becomes easy for her to deal with it.
It was because of the voices that I started to paint. Colors started flowing in my life. The very voices that were controlling me, controlled my painting also, controlled my artwork, was helping me at the same time. What happened at action level of cutting myself, action level of taking that knife and, you know, trying to kill my parents, or, you know, action level of wanting to run away, slowly transformed onto paper as action, but it's action on paper now, you know.
She's been able to express her symptoms through her art and through her paintings, and that has been a good cathartic experience for Reshma.
that's important. That's important that we are just not surrounded by the service providers, the psychiatrists, the counselors, the parents, but we're also surrounded by people who knew us before, friends who knew us, who we did trust, and they would remind us that you were like this before anyway. So why do you think it's a symptom? This is where your self-talk happens. You question yourself that, oh no, she said it's fine. You know, why are my parents saying any different? It's not that I'm trying to blame parents over here because, you know, hey guys, you know, they've been seeing it for years. So eventually they also need to rehabilitate themselves. They need to go out, and I keep telling them, please go out and hang around. You guys haven't done it for 5 years with being with me. Please see that I have similar problems that with these friends. You know, other parents are having similar problems with other 30-year-old daughters. And then it gets them thinking that, hey, yeah, you know, I think we need to pass through this, you know, schizophrenia. And I would say that's a very spiritual part. I mean, I started reading up, started talking to a lot of different spiritualists or people who believe in other sorts of worlds or realities or explanations for things that science cannot still answer. I don't disregard science. My dad's a scientist, you know, but then why haven't you answered my story over here? Why is it that these are issues that you cannot answer? There's no cause, you say. There's no cause for such things. They say there's so many causes, fine, acceptable. There's no cure. But there's a different way of doing things. You can take medications. Why isn't there a cure then if you think science can answer all of this? I have nothing against it, but then there's a time that comes, I'm a very impatient person, I need my answers. I am not going to wait for it to happen. I'm not going to wait until science comes up with some answer to it. Yeah, and if you do this, you'll be all fine. Hello, I'll be like 50 with white hair. I'll actually start looking old. You know, I can't wait. I want to enjoy life. I want my Ferrari. I want to do stuff. I want to go out there and do stuff. I don't want to be sitting here taking meds until you guys come up with some answer. You know, no, that isn't me.
Yes, it did make me uneasy when she said that she did not want medication. And if I remember correctly, I think after stopping the medicines within the first couple of months, she did become unwell. And my natural instinct was to put her back on medicines. She was dead against it. And I can say that she was right, maybe. Because yes, with medication, I may have been able to control her symptoms quicker. But yeah, she took a bit of time, but she reached there. So that sort of made me think that are the medicines always needed, and are they always needed according to the so-called protocols that we have? because now in medicines, everything has protocols and everything has a sort of decision-making tree. But that does not take into account the person, the individual we are dealing with.
And if she does want to go, what is it we can do to stop her from going? Shall we call the police and say that our child is not well and tell them to lock her up? No, we will not accept those things. I think that is worse than sending the child to prison. Right? We say, look, she is all right, she will go, she will come back. Maybe she'll hurt us a lot in the process. No, we can stand it. And I think many parents can't do that.
We are always kept in our comfort zones with people who understand what we're going through, people who know who we are, people who will protect us, who will stand up for us. There I was being the rebellious person again. No, I want to go out there. I want to go to this place. I want to do this, and nobody knew anything about me. So my complete band-aid was actually removed. My wounds were open. I didn't have my parents, I didn't have my support system, I didn't have my doctors, I didn't have anyone at that point, and I was having to deal with the illness bit and facing the real world.
Having gone through so much, I think I will not say that these are of no value. I think they are more value to strengthening your own resolve. That's all. That means the caregivers, not the patient.
You guys remind me about it. My dad suffered from short-term memory loss.
Gave me the guidance, They said that, okay, she cannot do because she's not in that state of mind.
Yashir, do you want to eat through the camera?
I'm good, thank you.
We're told that, we can't deal with stress, we'll be triggered off. Yes, we'll be triggered off. My question is, who is not? Which one of you do not encounter problems? All my friends who are normal have problems. They get thrown into a pool of shark every day also. So does that mean you're never going to show me that pool of shark? You're never going to allow me to swim? You're never going to let me touch water? Unacceptable to me. Just not. I have been the lucky one, and I believe everybody else can be the lucky one if only the people around them are willing to give them that space.